let's talk about the Utes. They are mid-season too. They've had 2 bye weeks, which is ridiculous, I think.
Coming in 4-1. Got a game that'll be over by the time this airs. This could change significantly my grade. I don't know about yours, but mine.
let's preface this, okay? Like you just said, we're recording this on Wednesday night,
right?
So the game's on Thursday night, so we don't know what the outcome is. The show premieres on Saturday.
I think I do know the outcome.
You do know the outcome, okay?
I do.
All right.
But needless to say, let's be honest. I had them going 5-7, 6-6 on a good year. So right now, sitting at 4-1, if you had to grade me, I got to go A. With an upset over 8th-ranked UCLA on the road, sure, I'm very disappointed that they blew the Washington State game. The rebounding shows promise. Still concerned about the quarterback position, whether or not Kendall Thompson can actually become a threat passing the ball as well as running the ball. Devontae Booker, your dude. You've been calling on him all year. Feed the beast. Keep doing it. I like the defense. I mean, that defense is one
insane
that we've been waiting for. We've been calling for it for the last few years. What happened to the Utah defense? Well, they've shown up so far in 2014.
Definitely.
I got to go with an A.
You're going A. You're a generous man.
I am.
There's a lot to be worried about. There's a lot to be happy about. Don't get me wrong. You're always on me because I'm so pessimistic or something, which is a joke.
Right.
I'm not negative. I'm just realistic.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good. I'm going to give them a B+. Maybe a B, but B+. We'll benefit the doubt. We did it for the Cougars. We'll do it for the Utes.
Right.
Go B+, because that Washington State game is a big black eye. It is, definitely. And it's very troublesome, as it was to all Ute fans. Like you said, though, you've got to give points for bouncing back. That's something that Kyle Whittingham teams in the Pac-12 have not been able to do. So you got to give them points for that. That's huge. That's a huge step in progress.
Well, see, for me, it just comes down to a simple numbers game. If I only had them winning 5 games all year, 6 at best, they're already at 4 with a win over a number 8 ranked team.
I understand that.
I got to go A. I mean, it could drop to C very quickly here. This is really the tough stretch.
That's the problem, though, because
the tough stretch is coming up.
It shouldn't be able to drop that much that quickly, in my opinion. Here's the thing for me is, and the thing that keeps them from an A or even an A-, is the Washington State game, obviously. But then I don't know how consistently, year in and year out, Kyle Whittingham just lays an egg with the offense and specifically the quarterback. I don't get it. I don't know how you can consistently have terrible quarterback play year in and year out every single freaking season. I don't know how that's possible. Just by the law of averages and chances, you have to have a winner in there somewhere. Yet somehow he has managed to screw that up every single year.
Well, but I mean, my question to you is, and I appreciate where you're coming from, but if I told you that through 5 games, Utah would have 4 wins, 2 would be on the road versus at a historic stadium in the Big House, and another historic stadium, the Rose Bowl, versus a number 8 team, and they blew a game versus Washington State, would you say, I like it? That's a good start.
They are 1 win ahead of where I had them at this point. 1 win ahead. That's it. I had them winning Idaho State, Fresno State, and Washington State, and then losing to Michigan and UCLA.
Right.
So they're just 1 win ahead, which is good. I mean, don't get me wrong. And plus, winning those buildings is good. Washington sucks. Michigan sucks. I understand that, but still, to win in that building with all those people is impressive. To win in the Rose Bowl, a number 8 UCLA, that's what jolts them up, man. Because if it wasn't for that win, I would have them as a B-, maybe C+. And another reason why is I don't know how your wide receivers can't catch a ball. I don't understand that. That's a big, big black eye as well.
Right. We got to start using Tonga a little more in the passing game. See, to me, the thing that allows me to give them an A, they're 1 win away from, my prediction, 2 wins at best away from my prediction. And the big wins have come on the road, especially the UCLA game.
Huge
after
progress.
An obviously disappointing, frustrating, unfulfilling loss, if there is a fulfilling loss out there, to Washington State. Not only for the program, the fans, the players, everyone was taken down a level.
Yep.
But the way they bounce back, and that 2 of their best wins this year have come on the road, it gives me hope. And I gotta give you an A. You're giving me hope. You get an A.
Oh.
Utah Utes get A's.
That's all it takes to give you for you to give an A. Is just hope?
Let me ask you: are you more hopeful today, sitting here, October 16th, than you were August 25th?
I'm more cautiously optimistic than I've been in a long time.
Wow.
I don't know if I'd call it hopeful.
Folks, that's called pessimism. I asked him a question. Are you more hopeful?
Listen to me.
No, I'm cautiously optimistic, trying to make sure I don't make a mistake with what I say.
No, here's the thing, though. There are too many giant question marks. These aren't like little things like is your defensive line getting enough sacks or anything like that.
Oh, we are. Sack like City.
Yeah, Let me
answer that one for you.
I get it. No.
Okay.
But it's not little questions like that. Are your DBs, not knocking down enough passes? These are giant question marks. The quarterback situation is a giant question mark, and it should be. That's huge. The fact that our big-time wide receivers can't catch a freaking ball is a giant question mark.
Kenny Scott can catch a ball.
No, he can't, apparently.
Kenny Scott can catch a ball.
Apparently, he can't.
He catches the ball when it's in his vicinity.
Apparently, that's not true at all, because at UCLA, I can count 3 times he dropped the ball.
You're watching a different
That's
game.
just off the top. What are you talking about?
Game.
What are you talking about? You're just making stuff up now.
Exactly.
You're just lying.
No,
You're lying to the good people.
I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth as I see it.
You're lying to the good folks who are watching on K-Patter and the good folks who are listening at dogadoose.com.
You're rather ungenerous with your B+. You've given
B+, that's a good grade, man. That's a good grade.
I'll remember that when you complain about any of your teachers in the future.
Hey, at this point, I would take a B+.
My question is, so you think BYU and Utah, if you had to grade their seasons, are on equal ground right now?
Yeah, I do.
I think if you asked a Cougar fan, they would disagree with that.
And I understand that. I totally get that.
And if you asked a Ute fan, they would disagree with that as well.
I understand that. Trust me, I totally understand that.
Okay.
But all things considered, you have to look at the big picture. That was our
What do you think the coaches would say? If we had Bronco sitting right here.
Well, what would they say, or what do they really believe?
Well, what do you think they believe?
I think Bronco would probably believe they deserve a C or C-.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't. He wouldn't say it. He would probably say a B or a B+, or maybe even an A-. Kyle would say A+, but and he would probably. It's probably what he believes. Honestly, it's probably about an A. No, he'd probably give an A-. Drops and quarterback stuff and all that stuff. But I do see them on equal footing, and it's all things considered. And I'm not talking about the expectation. Well, I kind of am, but I'm talking the fact that BYU's been depleted. I mean, they're down to nobody, and they're still pushing UCF to overtime. They shouldn't do that with a depleted roster like that. The Utes blew a giant one against Washington State. I don't know how that can be ignored, and it seems like everyone. And I know I went on a rant about how it's a fan's right to overreact, but I don't know how that is suddenly ignored by everybody. Just like I don't know how everyone jumped off the bandwagon after beating Michigan just because of the loss to Washington State.
See, I wasn't. I'm not ignoring it. To me, what is more impressive and what I have to give them a higher mark for is the response to a loss. Look,
that's a good point. You know what? That is a great point.
It's very unlikely that Utah was going to go undefeated.
Sure.
We all know that.
Sure.
But the way they responded in such what was a heartbreaking situation for the program and the fans as a whole, that allows me, in my mind, to give them a very high mark.
No, and that's a good point.
Now, if they came out against UCLA and got blown out, it'd probably be in the C range. Because I like to see my teams fight. I like to see that character building exercise of going on the road after giving one away and getting a W.
Okay.
And they did it.
Hypothetical here, and the viewers and listeners are going to be pissed because they already know the result of the game. But hypothetical. I got 2 hypotheticals for you. What are you going to give them if they barely lose to Oregon State?
It's a drop, obviously. It's another loss. It's a drop, and it'll probably be to A to probably B, B-.
A to B, okay. Actually, I got 2 more for you. What do you give them if they get blown out by Oregon State?
I mean, is it like a 42-28? Are you talking
blown out?
Or are you talking 42-0?
Well,
I mean, it makes a difference.
Give me a break. 42-28.
That could be
Good
a B
Lord.
minus. That'll be a B minus, C plus.
Oh my
maybe.
God! I don't know how you drop that much. Okay, now what could you possibly give them if they beat Oregon State?
Look, the reason they get an A is because the only situation that could have been better was unrealistic to begin with. The wins that they've had, I didn't think Utah would be 5-0. You
Well, I
didn't
didn't
either.
Of course
so
not.
they're 4-1. That's obviously.
No, I understand that, but it's also I also think that they are insanely. They should. Okay, I'm here's this, and then we absolutely have to move on.
Okay.
UCLA game. There are two things here. Okay, they are a few catches and not dropping the ball away from blowing out UCLA. Not blowing out, but winning in a very, very comfortable manner. Not letting it come down to a freaking field goal.
Absolutely.
Okay? And that's a big screw up. Like, I don't know how you let that happen. But at the same time, if Drez Anderson doesn't catch that lucky pass that was a terribly thrown pass, which again makes me question the quarterback play, then they lose to UCLA. So those are two bad things. I mean, those alone are going to keep me out of A range. Then you add on the Oregon State stuff.
See, I mean, you're
talking me down even more, man.
You're like
I might go to a B.
You're like being so specific at what you're grading.
It has to be though.
I'm grading the body of work.
Oh, exactly.
4-1.
But how the body?
You had them winning 5 games all year. They're 4-1.
The body
They're
of work.
80%
I think I
of
may
the-
have had them winning 4 games all year. I don't even know.
They're 80% of the way. They've achieved
True.
your expectations.
Which is great.
That's an A.
But they're stressing me out beyond belief doing it.
I mean, the thing I think, to your point, though, that Ute fans do sort of need to take into consideration, we talked about it after Michigan, and I think it needs to be reiterated after UCLA as well, is look, man, the Utes are also 2 defensive touchdowns away from being 2-3.
Definitely.
But
But I've also heard people say they're 1 quarter away from being undefeated.
Well, yeah, but yes, sure, they are.
As Al
But
Pacino once said, it's a game of inches.
that's true, but the point, good old Al, the more important point is, look, those 2 games that we won versus Michigan and UCLA, the defense is going to go a game here pretty soon without scoring a touchdown.
You have to.
Can the offense pick them up? We'll see.
Okay, for an A team, that shouldn't even be a question.
Well, no, because
That
it's my
shouldn't even be a question.
expectation.
I understand that.
You're not asking for a prognostication.
You shouldn't even be wondering, oh no, if our defense or special team doesn't score, we're gonna lose this. They're not gonna get touchdowns.
So what you really wanted was a prognostication. Because this
No,
is my.
You're looking at the whole body of work, but I'm also looking at the whole body of work. But how comfortable do you feel? I mean,
I feel comfortable giving an A today.
A.
It might be a B minus next week.
And then oh my God, we have to move on. But for me, an A is I'm very comfortable with where they're. I'm not only am I happy with where they're at, but I'm comfortable going forward. Maybe we should have specified this a little bit more.
Yes.
But I'm also very comfortable. That's a comfortable A. I'm satisfied that they're going to be able to get it done. B is like I'm happy with where they're at. Maybe some I don't know.
Oh, now that you set the parameters.
Well, we're talking apples and oranges here. You're grading one way. I'm grading another.
I'm grading
have
the
to
right
set the
way. You're
standard.
grading a way that's very difficult
Oh, you suck so
to
bad.
understand.